Hey guys, I'm Leah from Flow Mountain Bike here to talk to you about Marin's brand new Enduro bike. This is the 2024 Alpine Trail XR, dropping as one of Marin's burliest mountain bikes to date. The Alpine Trail XR has been released as part of the new Alpine Trail series, including the Alpine Trail 1, the Alpine Trail XR, and the Alpine Trail XR AXS. The XR, it stands for extra rad, and it shows as this bike is a step up from the Alpine Trail 1, upgrading to a heavier set of tyres and coil shock. Building on the previous version of Marin's XR, the 2024 model has arrived with a heap of changes. Boasting new adjustability settings, geometry, and components, the XR adds an aggressive yet dynamic rig to the modern enduro bike market. On top of this, the Alpine Trail now comes with a 170mm fork in the front and a 160mm coil shock in the rear. I was super excited to see that this model is also mixed wheel compatible with a new rear linkage setup for ultimate performance on the descents. With much more to offer, the Alpine Trail XR cuts an impressive figure on the trail. So, stick around for the rest of the video to find out more. You can also head to the Flow mountain bike website to read our more detailed review while we get stuck into what this crazy looking bike has in store. At a glance, you will notice the very aggressive nature of the Alpine Trail XR. Marin has previously been known to create affordable bikes for lighter riding, but the release of the XR has opened up a whole new avenue of strong descenders for the brand to explore. The frame gives off the look of a downhill bike turned enduro with a burly set of tyres, coil shock, and alloy frame just itching to send it down the hill. Some of the major changes which have been made to this bike are the wheel setup and pivot system. Moving away from the full 29er layout of the original Alpine Trail, the 2024 XR comes with mixed wheels, including a flip chip system to make the bike compatible with a 29-inch rear wheel. A new multi-track 2 long travel design has also arrived with the XR's aluminium frame, working to change the position of the rear pivot on this bike. Previously, the XR sported a rocker-activated single pivot, with the rear pivot at the seat stay. But with the multi-track 2 long travel, the rear pivot has moved to the chainstay, creating a horsed link. Marin says this new linkage system is designed to enable better mid-stroke support and reduce anti-rise and pedal kickback while braking. Capping it off, Marin have incorporated many of their house-made components into the new frame, including Marin branded bars, double wall alloy rims, grips, and saddle. Receiving lots of brownie points from me, the XR also has down tube storage in its frame. This storage space, called the Bear Box, is roomy and easily accessible under the drink bottle cage. Marin's Alpine Trail range starts at 4,499 AUD with the Alpine Trail 1. For this review, Marin sent us the Alpine Trail XR model, which comes in at 6,499 AUD. There is also the option of purchasing the AXS version of the Alpine Trail. This arrives with AXS drivetrain, higher spec brakes, and an amazing pink colorway, all for an extra 900 AUD. I went for a size large in the Alpine Trail XR, and at a height of 178 centimeters, it was the perfect fit for me. Prior to any adjustments, the large XR comes with 490mm of reach, 435mm chain stays, a 63.5 degree head tube angle, and 78.8 degree seat tube angle. Set up tubeless, this bike weighed in at 17.3 kilograms. With 2 flip chips and an adjustable headset cup, the XR has a huge repertoire of angles to choose from. Counting all the different angles up, the Alpine Trail can be run a massive 12 different ways. Of these, the headset cup allows for 3 different head tube angles in both the 29 and 27.5 rear wheel layout. These are 62.75 degrees, 63.5 degrees, and 64.25 degrees. The angle this bike comes with is the neutral 63.5 degrees, but the headset cup can be easily twisted to either increase or decrease the angle by 0.75 degrees. This makes it easy to steepen the head angle for longer, more undulating rides and slacken it out for rides involving more rugged downhill turns. The seat tube angle ranges from 79.2 to 78.6 degrees from small to extra large, allowing the effective seat tube angle to remain constant across all sizes. Additionally, the XR has 2 flip chips dotted around its frame. One can be found at the top of the seat stay, making the bike mixed wheel compatible. The other is located at the chainstay and has the capacity to alter the chainstay length and bottom bracket or BB height with one turn. This chainstay flip chip has been introduced into Marin bikes with the multi-track 2 long travel frame. The horse link this frame creates means the chainstay length and BB height can be coupled, allowing for 2 more settings, a high BB short chainstay or low BB long chainstay setting. In light of all the adjustments that can be made to the geometry of the bike, I was impressed by how well the Zeb Ultimate 170mm front fork and Super Deluxe coil worked in each position. Especially on the rough descents the Alpine Trail is made for, the coil presented a very progressive feel, with exceptional mid-stroke support. This was especially noticeable on the longer rock gardens, when the suspension was put under the most pressure to perform. Marin has worked hard to keep the suspension easily accessible on the XR. This made the bike quick and easy to set up, even while out in the park. With the XR's aggressive angles and componentry, this bike is made for the descents. The weight and long wheelbase of the Alpine Trail makes for the perfect companion on the downs, inspiring confidence where you least expect it. The bike's geometry sets you right in the sweet spot in the middle of the bike, allowing for maximum maneuverability on the trail. This, paired with the XR's shorter stem, makes it a very predictable bike to ride. Playing around with the chainstay flip chip, I found the low BB long chainstay version gave the perfect planted feel on the trails in rockier descents. Even in this longer setup, the XR still managed to absolutely whip around the techie corners. I was especially impressed by this bike's jumping ability. In the air, the weight of the Alpine Trail helped to maintain a really stable feel, with the mixed wheels providing the perfect measure of poppiness when rolling off a lip. Areas where the Marin did struggle were in flatter sections of trail. The burly Assegai tyres paired with a weighty alloy frame and slack geometry put a lot of drag on the Alpine Trail's rolling speed. Switching to a steeper head tube angle and high BB short chainstay setup did marginally improve the riding position and drag, but the weight of the bike was still a significant drawback in these areas. Despite its aggressive geometry and weight, the XR managed the light uphills pretty respectably. This was thanks to the steep seat tube angle, which sat you right in the sweet spot on the mellower climbs, making for good pedal efficiency in these areas. When the gradient steepened, however, the slack head tube angle was much more noticeable. I found myself frequently slipping too far over the back at times, with the front wheel giving in to some lift. Twisting the headset cup to a steeper head tube angle and the chainstay flip chip to a high BB short chainstay setting did help in these situations, but altering the geometry of the bike alone failed to compensate for the drag of the alloy frame, making the hills a struggle on this bike. Riders who are doing more all-round trail riding, opting for a lighter bike with steeper head tube angle and seat tube angle, like Marin's Rift Zone or YT's Jeffsy, might be something to consider. This being said, I wouldn't call the Alpine Trail XR a completely inefficient climber, but it is evident that this bike's priorities lie in the rocky descents rather than the eye-watering climbs. For such an affordable bike, the Marin Alpine Trail XR comes with very respectable spec layout. Most impressive is the ultimate level suspension and full GX system which the XR arrives with. The Zeb Ultimate 170mm front fork and Super Deluxe coil work fantastically on the rough descent, and the progressive nature of the suspension is just one of the ways that this bike helps to inspire confidence on the trail. The reliability of the Marin suspension translates over to the SRAM Eagle GX drivetrain it comes with. I was really impressed by the consistently crisp gear change, but it was the lack of noise this bike made which really blew me away. With the help of a particularly bulky chainstay protector, the Alpine Trail was a silent descender. Even while braking, the noise on the XR was kept to a minimum. I found that this was also thanks to the way the XR's geometry reacted to slowing down. The XR maintained a very planted feel at all times on the trail, and its response to a sudden rest off was very predictable, even in the most uneven sections of trail. While the geometry of this bike responded so impressively to slowing, the DB8 brakes that the Alpine Trail comes with did let the show down with their especially wooden feel. When paired with the 200mm SRAM HS2 rotors, the braking ability of the DB8 were not unreliable. However, the bike would benefit hugely from a set of brakes with a bit more bite. Another area that the Marin could improve on is the tire choice. Matched with Marin's own double wall alloy rims, the Maxxis Max Grip and Max Terra Assegai tires were amazing for traction in rocky descents, but their slow rolling speed was a definite drawback on flatter sections of trail. Presenting an aggressive yet very balanced geometry, the Marin Alpine Trail XR is a pretty versatile rig. I can safely say that this is one of the more confidence-inspiring bikes on the descents, and the bike laps up any gravity-focused ride with unmatched stability. Although its weight and slack nature does pull it back in the uphill and flowy sections of trail, if hard and fast bike park laps are what you are after, the affordable and very capable features of the XR should put it high on your list. For more info about this Marin Alpine Trail XR, go ahead and check out the full written review on the website. See you guys next time.